My name is Koyum, and today our topic is about Mimosa. Okay, so uh, I would like to share with you on Mimosa product, so that in the end you will know what Mimosa has got to offer you. What product you can use, what are the features that Mimosa have uh, for you to set up your network. Okay. Introduction to Mimosa. So, uh, Mimosa is an American company. They specialize in doing wireless bridging, which is point to point and point to multipoint. So if you plan to have a wireless bridging network, okay, point to point or point to multi-point, you can try to consider using Mimosa products, okay. So I will share with you the hardware that they have, the features that they have, and you can get ideas on what to do with Mimosa products, okay. Um, don't get confused with UBNT, because UBNT they have other network devices such as routers, switches. They got that, but in Mimosa they only focus on point to point and point to multi-point. Okay, they also have access point for indoor, but they're really not focusing on that. So they only have one or two devices for access point. Other than that, they only have point to point and point to multi-point. Okay. All right. So let us go through. Okay. So Mimosa, they have from A to Z solution for your wireless bridging. Okay. So they have from backhaul. Okay. If you want to do backhaul point to point, they have the devices. And then if you want to do point to point and point to multi-point to your client. So they have from access point to client, and then for indoor they have one device for broadcasting Wi-Fi. Just a small device for Wi-Fi. Okay, so they are more focusing on the point to point and point to multi-point. Okay, also they have the cloud management system where you can manage and monitor all of your Mimosa devices. Okay, the cloud is free. You just need to register with Mimosa, and then you register your devices inside your cloud account, and then you can monitor your devices. Okay, so they are focusing on having connection with for dense urban and hard to reach rural home. Okay, so this is what is Mimosa. Okay, so their top features and benefit. Okay, so they have low latency and jitter, rapid deployment. Okay, very easy to configure, and then low power consumption. And I think the most top features that they have is cost effective with higher performance. So if you compare the pricing between Mimosa and all the other point-to-point brands, you can see that Mimosa price is much more cheaper than the other brands, but it still give you the benefit of modern point-to-point technology. Okay, so you still can have high throughput. The hardware design also versatile, sleek, and rugged for outdoor. So also they have the extended frequency. All right, if you are using the free license 5G, so they still have extended frequency from 4.9 to 6.4 gigahertz. Okay, so these are their top features and benefits. Okay. All right. So they are using the modern fixed wireless architecture. So they have MIMO, okay, for massive capacity. All right. They are using TDMA for spectral efficiency. All right. They have something they call it as GPS sync. Okay. Most of their product have GPS. So when you have this GPS, you can use spectrum reuse. It is their technology where you can reuse the same channel for co-locating APs. Okay, I will explain more on the spectrum reuse later. And then they have the cloud management, all right, for your network management. So they have the cloud. Okay, so they are the industry leading price performance, and they have a product range from short, mid, and long haul. And then the long haul one, you can go up to 100 kilometers, all right. Short one, yeah, below 1 kilometer, okay. Extended frequency support, okay. Spectrum 7 GPS, so they have GPS. It's incredible link resiliency and rugged design, okay. Their hardware is very tough. They have the IP rating 67 and 55, depending on the model. So you don't have to worry when you install Mimosa product outdoor, okay, because they have that IP rating, okay. Yeah, ultra rugged. So built to withstand the harshest condition. So they have the IP67 rating. Okay, not all models has IP67. Some of it have, some of it don't have. Some of it only have IP55, which is what the IP55 is not water repel. Okay, they have the gas discharge tube ESD protection. All right, and then they have a GPS. Okay, so it can withstand the harshest condition. If like freezing cold also no problem, or a hot day, in a hot day also it can withstand the harshest condition. Okay, right. So they have the function of auto everything. So if you don't want to use manual channel planning, so you can just use auto. Okay, so easy to configure this one. Okay, and then most of their radios, they have dual link, which mean you can use two set of frequency, right, so that you will not be having overlapping frequency. So you see here in this graph, you can use first frequency, and then you can also assign another frequency for your second channel. Okay, so you will have fully resiliency during interference. Okay, so this is what it means, because they have two times two channel. Okay, all right. And then, like I said, they have the features of spectrum reuse sync. Okay, so this one is suitable if, for example, you are doing point to multi-point, where you have co-locating APs. Okay, if you have multiple APs on nearby area, so you can use this spectrum reusing, where you can still use the same channel without affecting the radio performance. Okay, it is almost similar like ubiquity prism technology. If you read about ubiquity prism technology, so it's similar like that. So it means that you can use back the same channel within the co-locating AP, all right, because they have the GPS sync, so it can detect the co-locating AP. Okay, so this is example. All right, you imagine you have a point to multi-point network, okay, in a residential area. So if you are not using the spectrum reuse, you can see each AP will broadcasting their own channel. So you will have a lot of channel used by your APs, and definitely interference will be high. Okay, so you are using 15 channels, for example, and then your throughput also will be affected. So you will have low throughput because of the interference. All right, but if you use spectrum reuse, so you can use back the same channel and still maintain your performance of your radio. Okay, so you can see the difference between using SRS and not using SRS. Okay, so you suitable for point to multipoint because you have a lot of co-locating APs, okay, nearby APs. Okay, so they have these features. Right, so let us go through the product that they have. Okay, so if you see the diagram before, they have the backhaul, access point, and then client. Okay, so first the first product is the point-to-point backhaul. Okay, so this is the portfolio for the devices for point to point. Okay, so now you know you can know which product you want to use based on your requirement. Okay, so if you plan to have a high reliability, which means you want to have high throughput, all right, up to 1.7 gigabit per second, all right, so you can go for backhaul point to point. You can use B11, which is licensed, all right, or you can also use B5, all right. If you want to have a short distance but high throughput, you go for B24. For example, if you plan to have a 1 gig throughput, but your link may be less than 3 kilometers, then you can use B24. But B24, you need to take note that this is licensed in Malaysia, so you need to apply the license for B24. All right, same goes to B11. B11 is for long distance, all right, with higher throughput also, all right, but this one is licensed. So in Malaysia, I think you can use the free license one, which is V5 or B5c. So you take note on the product naming of Mimosa. When it has B in front of it, so it means it is a backhaul. Okay, so people are using this for backhaul, so not suitable for you to use it as point to multi-point. Okay, if it has C in front of it, like C5, so it means that C is client. So C means for the point to multi-point. So the client will be the model with C. All right. And if you see A is access point. All right. So if you do the point to multi-point, for example, A5C. So A5C is the master, and then your station will be this client, which is C5, for example. Okay. But still, you can use if you want to do short point to point, you can still use C5X pair with another C5X, no problem. You can use that also. They just put this naming so that you can plan the suitable model for you to use. Okay, all right. So if you see the small letter C after the numbers like B5C, C means connectorized, which means it can connect to external antenna. All right, for example, you see here B5C. So you see the AP is square, then you can connect to external antenna. So external antenna, you can use any third party external antenna. If you want to customize your own antenna, you want to have your own DBI, you can use that one, or you can also use their antenna, their Mimosa antenna. But Mimosa antenna is limited. They don't have so many antennas like Ubiquiti. So maybe you some cases you will use other brands of antenna. So it depends on your requirement. Okay. Okay. So if you want to go another portfolio is for cost effective. If you don't want to have high throughput, you just want a normal throughput up to 700 Mbps. All right. So you go for a C5X. Okay. So C5X is the newest product for point to point and point to multi point. It is AP with their own. This one C5X you cannot use third party antenna because the antenna is unique. It has a screw where you need to attach the antenna to the AP. Okay, so the product range from the default C5X will be, which is having antenna 8 dBi, and then if you want to have longer distance, you can change the antenna to 12, 16, 20, and 25 dBi. Okay, the 12 dBi and 60 dBi will be horn antenna, and then the 20 and 25 dBi will be the dish antenna. So it can go, if you're using the 25 dBi, it can go up to around 10 kilometers. Okay, so if you want to do point to point or point to multipoint within 10 kilometers, so you can use C5S. All right, and then your master, your base station will be at access point, which is A5C. Okay, or if you want to go for a longer distance using C5, you can use C5c. All right, so which means you customize the antenna, so you use C5c and you attach um, the higher gain of antenna, maybe more than 25 dBi antenna, so you can use C5c. Okay, so free license in Malaysia using C5S and C5c. And then if you're using the backhaul, yeah, all backhaul products, they have the GPS sync and IP67, but the client side, it doesn't have the IP 67 rating. You only have IP55. Okay. For B11 also you need to attach external antenna. Okay. So for B11, so like B5 is integrated antenna. B24 also integrated antenna. Okay. So you take note if you need to buy additional antenna. Okay. So this is some features of the backhaul. Okay. So definitely if you're using the backhaul, your throughput, it can go to 1 gigabit per second, but also depending on your setup, on your environment, on the frequency planning, on the line of sight. So everything must be take consideration to have the highest possibility of throughput that you can have. Okay, all right. So they have a dual link, like I said, dual link, which means you can use two set of frequency. Okay, and then mid you can use for mid haul B5, long haul B5C, because you can connect to external antenna. All right, so B11, if you want to go for license, you can go for B11 and B24. All right, but B24 is short haul, only up to 3 kilometers. Okay, so this is the model. So usually in Malaysia, people they will use between B5 and B5C. Okay, right. This is the cost-effective point-to-point. All right, so you can use C5C, but you need to have the external antenna. Okay, and or also you can use the C5S. Okay, all right, so it can act as point-to-point or point-to-multipoint also. Okay, so this is the C5S. Okay, you see here, integrated radio with modular antenna. Okay, so if you use for point to point, it can go up to 700 Mbps, or point to multi-point, can go to 500 Mbps. Okay, up to maybe around 10 to 12 kilometers using the highest dBi antenna. Okay, all right. So this is the C5S. So this is the AP. All right. So this is the inside of the AP. Okay, so by default, you already have the 8 dBi antenna. Okay, the default one, but you can change the range by putting higher dBi antenna. So this is the horn for 12 dBi. All right. So another one, 16 dBi, the horn, and then you change to ditch for 20 and 25 dBi. So you cannot use third-party antenna for this C5X. You must use their own antenna because the connection is unique, alright, only for Mimosa brand. Okay, so this is the C5X. Okay, so you have from the default one 8 dBi up to 25 dBi for around 10 kilometers distance. Okay, alright. Okay, so C5C, another client point to point. All right, so you can use your own antenna as long as the connection is dual RPSMA, so you can connect with this one. Okay, all right. So if you want to have omnidirectional, you want to have dish, you can connect using this one. Okay. So another device of Mimosa is the point to multipoint. So if you want to use point to multipoint, so you need to have a master and your station. All right, the base station, the master, in Mimosa they call it as access point. So the naming will be A in front. So they have two models of access point, which is A5 and A5c. Okay, if you're using F5, it is using integrated antenna, omnidirectional, so quad sector, which means the omnidirectional divided by 4, so it will cover the 360 degree of coverage. Okay, so or if you want a slightly higher distance than F5, because F5 can go up to maybe around uh, 2 to 300 coverage area meter, or you can go you can change to A5c, where you can attach external antenna if you want slightly higher distance than the A5. If you want your signal go up to maybe up to 500 or 700 meters, then you go for A5c, but then you need to connect to external antenna. Okay, so you can decide on that one. Okay, so if you see, this is an example of point to point and point to multipoint. So this is point to multipoint using A5. So A5 will be the master, and then connected to the station, the client, which is you can use combination between if you want to use C5 also can, or you can use C5c. Okay, so this is what you can do. All right, so you only have A5 one. Okay, so this is another example. If you're using the whole solution of wireless network, so you have the backhaul, right, using B24 or B5 from one tower to another tower, and then from the second tower, you want to serve your client, so you have one A5 connected to the client, which is you can use combination C5X or C5c. Okay, so you can have that combination. All right, so this is example of using A5. All right, for point to point or point to multi-point. Maybe this one is using for camera. Okay, right, so this one is they're putting it on the rooftop. Okay, right, so this is A5, so throughput up to 500 Mbps. The built-in antenna is 14 dBi, and the power output is 24 dBm. It's suitable for collocation. It has the GPS sync, so for collocation AP, so you can use the spectrum reuse. Okay, the range is around 300 meters. All right. Okay, so and then you can use a 5C if you want to slightly longer distance and a little bit more on the power on the BM. Okay. Okay, so this is example using the A5C with the antenna from Mimosa. So you can use this antenna from Mimosa for omnidirectional, but slightly higher, longer distance than the A5. Okay, so you can go up to 500 meters signal. Okay. Okay, so this is comparison between using the F5 without the antenna and F5C with the external antenna. So you can have a slightly longer distance for your radio signal. Okay, right? So tower development, this one is just example. So this one is using A5C with sector antenna, okay? Because in Mimosa also, like I said, they have a few antenna, but not a lot. So they have also the sector antenna here, 45 degrees. So you can use that one also. If you want a sector antenna, all right, you can use 45-degree antenna. All right, so this one is they are using the point to point using sector. Okay, all right. I'll just skip this apps because this one is not being used. Okay. Okay, so this is their antenna. Okay, so they have the sector antenna. Just now I show you the omnidirectional antenna. So this one is their sector antenna. So they have the sector antenna, 45-degree antenna. So it's called N5-45 times 4. So times 4 means it has 4 connector on it. So you can connect to A5C. Okay. So you can use this one. It has a gain up to 22 dBi and then dual slant 45-degree. Okay, so you can use. I just show you this one, how it perform. Okay, this is the diagram on how it performs. So the coverage like a sector with high gain, and it have no fighting like horn, and it is the industry leading FMB ratio, okay, up to 43 dB. So this is what you will see in the sector. Okay. Okay, so you can also use other third-party antenna, all right, but Mimosa N545 is the industry leader in front to back ratio and gain. Okay, so you can also use ubiquity dish antenna for your Mimosa AP. Okay, I've tested using rocket dish with A5C, and it works. Okay, so you can use, because they have also suggestion on which, if you don't know which antenna to use, you can refer to their website. They also have suggestion that they have tested in their lab on which brands of antenna that you can use with Mimosa AP. Okay, all right. Okay. So they have the sector sync so that you can have the co-locating AP using the same channel. All right, so B24 usage, all right, B24, we don't use here in Malaysia unless you have the license, okay, but it is for short haul, up to maybe 2 to 3 kilometers, okay, but you can have high throughput and less interference because 24 gig, it is licensed, so less interference, so your link will be much more better using 24, but then again you need to apply the license. Okay, all right, so this is B24 diagram, so you can go up to 3 kilometers. Okay, and still rain, it can withstand rain. Okay, so B24, so B24 have fiber support, so only B24 have fiber support. Okay, you can use fiber. All right. Yeah, installation on B24. This is the mounting bracket. Okay, easy to adjust to align your AP. Okay, right. This is another example of using B24, because some people would like to do B24 for CCTV, because they want to carry higher throughput, because camera, they want to record the sound and the images, so they use B24. All right, so you can use B24. All right, and then you can attach to A5C and the antenna for the client for the camera. Okay, so this is example for video surveillance. Okay, right. Another example using video surveillance. So you can have multiple B24 and pointing to the camera, which will be having the B24 also. So you can do point to point. So multiple point to point. Okay. So this is another feedback from the user. This one, okay, case study. All right. So that's about their product. So that one is the hardware. Okay. Also, they have the software for monitoring. So if you go to the, I just show you the website, the Mimosa website. All right. So under the Mimosa website, you can also have a few tools and software you can use. You can register, it is free, you can register, all right, from their website. Okay, so the link is cloud.mimosa.com. So from the tools here, you can also do site planning. If you want to do site planning, you want to simulate your radio. Okay, so you can have this design. So you want to simulate your point-to-point link. You want to know the throughput, the line of sight. So you can use this design tool. So they have this one, so that you can uh, you can have a preliminary result on what you can expect on the real side. Okay, so you can put the point A and B, and then you can see the result. Okay, this is one example. You can generate the reports. I'll just show you one. So let's say that this one you can do point to point or point to multi-point, so you can simulate and then you can know the result, so that you know it is suitable or not suitable using that model that you choose. You can check also the line of sight, all right, the expected throughput that you will get, all right, so you can have this result. So you can do preliminary result on the design tool. Okay. Also, each time you buy a new Mimosa product, you need to unlock. So definitely you need to create an account with Mimosa to unlock your device, okay? Because you can access the device first time if you didn't unlock. So this is the place to unlock your device. So when you buy a Mimosa product, you need to put a serial number, and it will generate you unlock key for you to configure your Mimosa product, okay? And then they have manage, where you can view the status of your network, or your point-to-point network. So you will have the list of your APs, okay, and then you can do monitoring. You check the device list, you can monitor the status up and down, so you can view here from this manage tab. Okay. And if you want to read more on Mimosa, you can go to the community. So you can discuss here if you're facing any issue. You want to read some articles, some use user experience. You want to read documentation, so you can read here. All right. So also they have, if you want to know more on the guide on the setup on how to use the Mimosa product, you can go here, Mimosa, their main page. So you go to support, then you can read documentation based on which product you use. Okay, let's say you use Backhaul. Okay, if you want to know more, maybe on the FAQ, on the installation setup guide, so you can read more here. So they have everything here. You can read more here for more readings, right? Or also, if you have anything to ask them from their principal, you can also chat with them, so they can reply to you immediately if you have any issue. Okay. I think that's about it about Mimosa. Anything you want to ask now? Open to Q&A about Mimosa. I hope now you have a clear idea on which Mimosa product you want to use. Okay. Anything you want to ask? Okay. If no question, then I think I'll end my session here. If you have any other question, you can drop an email to us. I send the email to the chat box, so you can ask any question you can have from there. Then we will try to help you. Okay. I think that's all for me. Thanks for attending my webinar. See you on the next training. Okay, we have, okay, all right, no problem. Yeah, if you want to learn on how to configure the Mimosa, we have another session for configuring the Mimosa. So check our website on the schedule. Okay, thank you. All right, bye. Okay, I will share this slide later. I will ask the sales to send to you. All right, thank you. Bye.